Welcome back to the channel, guys. Here's the thing that I want to explain because I have not done a video on these topics much recently. But this is a good one and I'm going to make perfect sense of this topic. This is the real reason as to why chosen ones get left out. You don't get left out because you're boring. You don't get left out because you're weird. You don't get left out because you're not good enough or you're not good looking enough or whatever reason it might be that some of you guys might think hypothetically about yourself. Chosen ones get left out for the simple fact that you just don't fit in and you're not on the same wavelength as these other individuals who have these big friends groups, like a high school thing in society. These individuals, bro, do not grow past high school level, which is why they continuously be the way they are. And we have a much bigger purpose, bro. I remember when I was 18, turning 19. And I don't know how, I don't know why. But prior to this, my whole life, my entire existence, I was around family lots, went to every family gathering, went to aunts and uncles' places and with cousins all the time, with friends even more all the time, getting multiple friends over, throwing these birthdays, going to my friends' birthdays. The amount of socializing I had as a kid, the amount of events I went to as a kid, played sports in elementary school, junior high, in high school. I'm telling you guys, like, some of the funnest times of my life, obviously. But it's much, much different as a man. And I remember being a young kid like it was yesterday. Like, it's not hard for me. I remember things when I was 3. Like, I remember things, bro, when I was 3 years old. Some people don't even remember stuff when they were 5, and I don't know how. Because I do. I see images in my head of things playing out at that age and where I was at and all that kind of stuff. I guess it's just how my brain works. I don't know. But I kid you not, I spent my entire life up until adulthood with friends all the time. I'm telling you, bro, we would get on bikes. We would bike long distances, like a whole bunch of us. We'd go bike down to this like dock. One of my friends had like a dock. We'd bike down there. We'd run off the dock, jump in the water. We'd swim across the whole channel to the other side of the whole thing, man. Across the whole channel of water to the next island. Like, we were pretty crazy by. But something happened and something changed when I got a little bit older. God has done something to me. God has put something in me. And, you know, when people become adults, everyone goes a certain type of way. And so did I. I unlocked what I knew I always had inside of myself, and this is not going to be no time and place to be fitting in with nobody else. The last things I remember before this transition happened, I was 18, and at this time I was still hanging out with friends. And at this time of my life, I was in my weed smoking phase. I was hustling weed at this time. I was kind of in that phase, the bad boy era, having experiences with these girls, with my ex a little bit at the time. Very good time. I'm not going to lie to you. Very good time. Hanging with the friends all the time, man. It's like after school, we go straight to the house. We're all there together, having a good time, laughing, joking around, playing sports still at this time. And something happened. Something changed, and it got close to when I was at the age of 19. I just remember things in the friends group started to just change. Things were becoming different, and at first, everyone was so close. And all of a sudden, animosity starts to form. Few people start beefing, things start to happen, drama starts to happen. And I just remember myself not being able to relate anymore. Like in a snap of a finger, it's almost like it happened overnight. It's almost like a female losing attraction for a man and just dipping. It's almost like it literally happened for me overnight. And I say that just as an analogy, but you guys get what I'm saying. It literally felt like it just a flick, and I don't know. Like, I just didn't view these guys the same no more. I was on my way out of this place. I started to go to the gym before this, and I just remember I was off track with these guys. Because I was being disciplined. I was showing up to the gym all the time. These guys would go maybe one time a week, and I'm going every day. My identity starts to change. My eyes start to open. I'm relating to them less and less and less. And I just remember on these car rides by myself to the gym and back to this house, I just remember God was speaking to me, and he was telling me things. And the day I turned 19, it was unforgettable, because I remember driving home at night, and the sun was still up a little bit, but it was coming down. It was like just a little bit of light left, and I just remember looking out the window driving, and I'm just like, I'm 19. It's time to start acting like it. And I looked at myself. I saw my age. How could I keep acting like such an idiot, man, when I'm turning 19? Would a grown man be acting like this? I just remember having these conversations. Would a grown man who is 19 now, well, that's not a fully grown man, but still, you're an adult now. Would a man be doing these things? No, he would not. So this just drove me more and more and more. It pushed me away from pretty much everybody else because no one wanted to do that stuff. I was trying to get these guys to do all that stuff. And bear with me because we're getting somewhere here. I continue to go down this path, and I still had some friends at this time, but it started being less and less and less and less. I remember starting to delete so many people off of high school from Facebook at the time. I haven't had Facebook in such a long time from now, but I remember that like it was yesterday. I had like 1,000 friends from school, right? Like 1,000 friends on Facebook, so many guys, so many girls. I just remember deleting people. I deleted like half of everyone. There was like 500 left, and then I narrowed it down to like 300, and then I narrowed it down further to like 200, and then I narrowed it down to like 150, and then it was like 100. And then there was like 50 people, and I'm like, why do I even have this anymore? Like, I'm not even that close with my own friends anymore. Like, why do I even have this? And all of a sudden, I have risen above society. I saw through society like you would not even think, man. And I told you guys, bear with me because we're getting somewhere here. This is good. I was seeing through society. I was seeing through people. I was seeing the bigger picture. And not everyone felt the way I felt, obviously. Not everyone is going to feel the way I felt, but God put something in me, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made those moves. Obviously, I wouldn't have done that. Obviously, my life wouldn't have went that way. And obviously, I wouldn't have become who I am today. I'm just being used by the Lord. So that's good. The Lord can use me. Nobody else can, but the Lord can. And that's how I feel my life went. So it's not because you're not funny. It's not because you're not charismatic. It's not because you're not good looking enough. It's not because you can't have good conversations and you're not entertaining. As to why you don't fit in because you just don't fit in. You're above societal norms. You're above it. And when you come around people, I'm the type of guy, bro, that people want to talk to, but it's like not too much. Because when I'm around for people for too long, everything starts to expose itself. There's a very few people that can come around me and stay around me for long periods of time. Other than that, not really. Like, I do stuff sometimes with friends and all that stuff, but it's just, it's not like it used to be, man. The connections I used to have, like the ride or die friends, when it used to be like that, it's just not that way no more. Like the connections you have with people now, it's just not like that no more. It's just far different. And don't get it twisted and don't get it wrong. You can still be a very likable person, being a chosen one that people still want to talk to, but people don't necessarily want to get close to you, and you don't necessarily want to get close to other people. For the simple fact that you have a much bigger purpose in life. And they most likely don't. And that's on them. That's just their destiny. That's their calling. It doesn't make them a bad person. It's just what it is. And it doesn't make you a bad person for having a purpose, obviously. And this is something you're going to have to go through. This is what I have been through. And like I said, by the time I was 19, and then you turn 20, and then you turn 21, it's like lesser friends, lesser friends, lesser friends, lesser friends. All to the point where I went through a phase where I had literally no friends. Like no one you can just text and then go and do something with. Like, bro, for a couple of years, bare minimum. That was a phase I had to go through. And I feel like that was from about 2018 to about 2020. Up to 2021 almost. And before that, it was a bit different. I was still around some people in 2017. But not a lot of people. And experiencing the things that I experienced, it further validated why I shouldn't be around people, because I was getting results. Even the few people I started to be around, even they started to turn their backs and talk shit. And I heard about it and I confronted people, and man, it did not end well. And I haven't spoken to those people since. Don't know what they're doing, don't know where they're at, don't know anything about them. But people you were once close friends with, and that's the kind of stuff that happens. That's what I'm saying, bro. So, yeah, after that, I had a few years. It was very lonely. It was very isolating. I just remember I was still living at my folks' place in 2018, and I just remember being there, and I'm watching stuff on YouTube, and I'm watching videos, and I'm being inspired, and I'm watching lots of UFC at that time, MMA, and a little bit of hockey maybe, and I'm hitting the gym real hard, coming up with ideas, coming up with plans. I am literally putting my tracksuits on. I'm leaving my house. I'm running down the roads. I'm fit, man. I had a punching bag at my place at the time and a speed bag. And I would be up all hours of the night sometimes, guys. Running the roads with headphones on. Full on adrenaline, bro. Running down the roads completely pitch black. And during the day sometimes too, I'd go on these long runs, man, through the pits. And that means you run down the road, you turn down this right spot. It's a right turn. And it's down these dirt roads. And we call them the pits. There's a bunch of hills there. It's like these back roads where there's like tractors that are doing stuff, and that's how the hills are there, and people drive their four-wheelers up those things, man. I used to have a four-wheeler and have done that, but I resorted to turning myself into a machine, and I no longer had a four-wheeler. I'm literally running these damn things that people are just driving their ATVs down. like going for joyrides on ATVs, man, all through these pits. And I'm running through there, man. I look back at that now and I'm like, man, it's just crazy. The things I did, man, if you guys only seen what I did under the circumstances I was in, it's just like, man, this guy really wanted it. Like, this guy really wanted it, man. I would look up at the sky and I'm just like, I'm in that zone, bro. There's a higher power from somewhere doing something, and I'm just in that state all the time. I'm training, I'm eating, I'm sleeping, I'm learning, I'm just focused. So no, at that time, I had no friends. And prior, I had dozens and dozens and dozens of friends. I was the life of the party. Wheeling the chicks, with the friends, doing all that stuff. Mr. Popular. And then I ended up that way. And then 2019, first time I'm ever living by myself, was in 2019, 6 years ago. So ever since then, I have lived by myself. And over these last 6 years, let's say over the last 5 years, it's been 6 years, but estimate it to 5, I have completely changed my life. And God has shown me the path. I had my own idea that I wanted to do. Didn't work out. That's an idea and a path that I was going down that I had to drop. And it was hard to drop it because I was working on it for many, many years. And I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? There's just no way this is meant to be, because I tried so many damn things, bro. Nothing was working out. I had to let go, and I had to let God in fully. Because he was telling me something and I was trying to refuse it. My ego was trying to get me involved in MMA and fighting and stuff like this, and I just wanted to do it so bad. Everyone where I come from, man, people was messaging me about it. People wanted to see me fight because everyone knows where I'm from, that I can fight. And I wanted to compete, and my ego wanted to compete, and it's like, I want to be somebody, but guys, it just wasn't my path. It just simply was not. So, after failing to even get in the sport, I never failed to fight because I fought guys in the gym many times. I failed to get in the sport for the simple fact that MMA where I'm from is absolute garbage. Garbage. It's a little bit better right now, 6 years later. It's a little bit easier to get a fight right now because there's other promotions that is open, but those were not there at the time. And it was so hard to get a fight, I didn't even care, bro. I wasn't even in a gym at one point, in an MMA gym, and I went to get a fight by myself. I just wanted to compete. I just wanted to get in there, and I wanted to do my thing. But anyways, yeah. This just all goes to show how different chosen ones are. And I wanted to give you guys this take to let you understand why things are the way they are. Fitting in, guys, is nothing special whatsoever. It's actually kind of miserable. And it's miserable because you're now dependent on people and friends to make you happy. And maybe you won't be so happy at first when you're on your purpose, because it takes a long time to build, and it takes a long time to build your self-identity. It's very lonely at first. It's very isolating at first. It's a tough road, man, because you don't even know what's going to happen yourself. You're just down this path. You're down this road. There's so much uncertainty. You're kind of lost. You don't know what you're doing. But you're listening to God. You're doing the work. And that's what it takes. And the thing is, it's easier to fit in. You have more success fitting in when you're young, because when you're a kid, you're the same as everybody else. You're relating to everybody else. You're all in the same shoes. You all go to science class together. You all have gym class. You all have social studies. You all have math. You all have English. You all take lunch together. You do everything together. You play sports together. You smoke weed together. That's why it's easy to fit in during school. But when you get out of school, people can take carpentry. People can try to go down this path of being a professional athlete. People can be a technician. People can go and become a dentist. Someone can go become a doctor. Someone can become an underwater welder. Everyone's taken a different route. And that's the exact second. It's not so relatable no more. You start to go your way, other people start to go their way, and depending on what path you take is what you're about to face. My path was very unique. I faced a lot of trials and tribulations. And no one chose that besides God. I didn't even choose that. God has chose that. I have been chosen. Other people kind of choose their own path. Oh, I want to be a carpenter. I want to be a welder. I want to be this. I want to be that. And they just kind of, they do their thing. And it's this average-ish life. But it's not bad for some of those people either. It's just, it is what it is. And at least they have people to relate to, because when they start to get down those, when they take those routes, there's going to be other people there that's welders. Let's say if you take welding, there's going to be other people in your class that are welders. So now you're going to kind of be friends with them. You're going to relate to them. You're going to be around that stuff. So you're not chosen. You're just like everybody else in that environment. But when you're chosen, you have a very specific, unique purpose and identity. This makes it very hard for you to fit in. It doesn't make it hard for you to have just conversations and stuff and get along with people on a daily basis, like out and about or whatever. And some of you even struggle with that. I don't struggle with that no more. But because for a short period of time, I did struggle a bit, and I had a lot of uncertainty and a little bit of anger just from things that happened in the past. So I was kind of closed off, and I wasn't really wanting to talk to people. But now I got my swagger in life. I've been down my path for a very long time, so obviously I'm doing better. So I'm open to talking to some people here and there again, but at the same time, still chosen. Still don't fit in. And it is what it is. This is what it is. And I don't think anyone on earth has just made sense of this as well as I just did. And if you've stuck throughout this entire video and you've listened to what I said, you're welcome. Because this was a gift. And this probably gave you a lot of answers as to what you were needing. And that's pretty much it with this topic. So I hope this did help a lot of you, and it helps you see kind of where you're at. It gives you more perspective on other people. It gives you perspective on the real world and how things actually work and operate. And yeah, man, this is what it is. So that's it. God willing, God bless. We'll see y'all at the top.